Hi everyone, my name is Mike Bryan. I'm happy to have here today Kayla Hinkle. She's the Admissions and Marketing Coordinator with the Oaks Rehabilitation and Healthcare Center here in Zanesville. Thanks, Kayla, for coming today.
Thank you.
And as we've talked, today is really to help folks understand a little bit of what to expect. I know I've said this a million times before, but it's the deer in the headlights feel. When someone needs care and they've never gone through this before, they're not sure what questions to ask and what to expect. So I like these programs because it gives someone an idea of what to expect. So we'll kind of walk through this today, but first things first, where are you guys located?
So we're located at 3291 North Point, and that's here in Zanesville.
Okay. And what's the best phone number?
Yeah, so the community number is 740-452-3000.
And if someone wanted to email you, what's the best email?
Yeah. So it's admissions@theoaksrhc.com.
Okay. And then the main website too is just www.theoaksrhc.com.
Yeah.
And when I looked on there earlier, there's also a contact us form, and I understand that will get to you.
Yes, that is
Okay.
correct. Yeah.
All right. Well, I know there are a lot of different services that are offered. What are the services that are offered there at the Oaks Rehabilitation and Healthcare Center?
Yeah, so we are a truly age-in-place community. So we have assisted living, long-term care, short-term rehab, and we also have what we call Legacy Lane, which is memory care.
Okay. And the term we've heard before is age in place. I understand that really applies to you guys. I mean, you can have someone who's in assisted living and then they need more care. Kind of describe how that works.
Yeah, so assisted living would be those folks who don't need a whole lot of care but definitely need assistance. Maybe they're having some memory loss. Remembering to take their meds is sometimes challenging. So that would be someone for our assisted living. And then we have our healthcare side, or long-term care. And that might be someone who requires a whole year lift or a 2-person transfer, just has a higher level of care. And then we have skilled nursing, and that is for folks who are in the hospital and plan to return home or to our assisted living. And they just need some therapy before returning to that. And then we have our Legacy Lane, which is memory care, and that's for folks who are actively wandering and exit seeking. They have dementia or Alzheimer's. So yeah.
Okay. Well, and the long-term care side of it, that's really where someone, if they need help with bathing and dressing, toileting, transferring, that sort of thing, that's really where they would be then. Okay.
Yeah.
So what are the typical, how are the rooms set up there? I know you have some that are private and some semi-private. Kind of describe that for us.
Yeah, so it depends, right, on where you are in our building. Assisted living, they're all private rooms. They have private bathrooms. They have like a little kitchenette area with a refrigerator. But we provide 3 meals a day, so there's no need for a stove or anything like that.
Okay.
And then for our healthcare side, we also have some private rooms as well, and then we also have shared suites. With the shared suites, there is division between the roommates, so that goes very well.
Sure. And having some sort of divider there, I know older buildings sometimes they didn't have a partition of some sort there, so it gives more privacy.
Exactly, more privacy. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Now, if someone needed to have some therapies, if they were that short-term rehab person, you have different therapies that are offered there as well?
Yeah, we have physical therapy, occupational therapy, and speech therapy.
Okay.
Yep.
And then if they've looked online or maybe watched this video and they want to take a tour, how do they go about doing that?
Yeah, they can give me a call at the number we said in the beginning, and yeah, I would love to do that. I think being in person and being there to tour and see the amazing activities going on, our dining experience, I think those things are very important.
Yeah, I think that's a game changer to do that in person.
Yeah.
You can do hours of research online, but actually seeing places for yourself makes a big difference.
And there's a feel when you come in the building.
Yeah.
It feels like home. It's just, yeah, there's a few.
Yeah. Well, let's say someone has completed a tour and they decided this is the place that their loved one's going to be, and I'm sure they have to sign an agreement, and I've always joked in the past that it's a huge stack of documents, but I understand it's just a one signature now. Is that right?
Yeah, electronic. It's much easier than
That
it
is-
used to be.
that is,
Yeah.
it is. Well, and I assume too, I mean, if they need to get a copy of that, because there's still a lot of things to read, and again, it's the first time reading a lot of this,
Exactly.
they can take it home with them. review it.
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what is, once all that is completed, what is move-in day typically like?
Yeah, so we definitely encourage our residents and families to bring in things that would personalize their room or, for them. So is there a special quilt that was, in the family? Do you have your favorite pillows from your house? Those sorts of things are very important. Pictures for the walls, family pictures are very important. So we ask that. And then, of course, for the nursing side of it, you'll get to meet our nursing team. Our nurses will do assessments and things along those lines. And then we'll have what we call care conferences, so they'll get to meet the team that way. We get to know more about the residents and the families too.
Okay.
Yeah.
It sounds like they're going to meet an awful lot of people
Yes,
that very first day.
that is true.
Yeah, that's all right. Well, and I know a question I get quite a bit is, how do I pay for the health care that I need? And I know you'll go over all that with them when they're speaking with you, but my understanding is they can just privately pay, they can use Medicaid if you're on the health center
That's
side,
right, yes.
and then veterans pension benefits, Medicare, certain types of insurance, and with their insurance, just like pretty much everyone else, you'll run that before to
Exactly.
make sure there's
Yes.
not any issues with coverage.
Yeah, and families would be aware, up front.
Yeah,
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Makes sense. Well, there are various places people can go. What are the things that you think kind of sets you guys apart?
Yeah. So I know we spoke on it earlier, but we are truly an age-in-place community. So families, once they come into our community, they don't have to look again. They don't have to do this process all over again, whether it's they start in our assisted living and their care needs change, or maybe their funds are changing too. So those are all things that we can help along the way. Consistency and things are very important to our seniors.
Right.
So being in the same community, I think, is very important. Like, we know them, they know us, and I think it's a great thing. Yeah.
Well, I know anytime you move, even as someone who doesn't need care, I personally, I don't like moving, and,
Right.
and moving's difficult, but if I needed more care, I think that the less times you can have to move from buildings to buildings, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that the dining experience is something too that's important. What is it about the dining experience?
Yeah. So I serve lunch once a week to our residents and families, and I love it. So we start with soup and salad.
Mm-hmm.
We have a salad bar that comes through before we serve entrees. So many choices. We really work hard to find a way to say yes to our residents and families. So if there's something on the menu, we always have something else available that they like. So yeah, it's just a great experience. Yeah.
Well, and the activities as well. I think there's a lot of different activities for people to be involved in.
Yeah, from bingo to the slip and slide out front on the hill. We do a lot of community events too. We had a concert not long ago. So yeah, we do a lot, and we're very involved with our families and our residents and staff. So it's nice.
I think that makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Well, I think that gives folks a pretty good feel for what to expect, and it gives them a better idea of it gets rid of that fear of the unknown thing that we often talk about. So I think that's very helpful. And for all of you watching out there today, if you do have questions, please be sure to reach out to Kayla, and she'd be happy to help you. And thanks so much for watching all this today.